What is up, YouTube? Khan here once again, and we're gonna go ahead and make a video about the repairs I'm gonna be doing to this In the Groove motherboard. For those that don't know, there was explode capacitors on this motherboard by the CPU. You can kind of see them right over here. One of them has acid leaking out of it right here. Let's see if I can focus in a little bit. Yeah, that one. The one in the middle with the black on it. That is acid leaking out of it. You can see a few others. Also have some leaky capacitors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, move everything off of this motherboard onto a new one. It's not the same brand, it doesn't have the same chipset, so we're going to have to reinstall Windows and then reinstall everything onto this operating system. So yeah, just follow me guys and we'll see how the repairs go and hopefully everything works out okay. Alright guys, so just disconnected everything off the old motherboard. This is the new one I'm going to be putting in. You can see the CPU is up there along with the CPU fan, the graphics card right there, and then we got the RAM right over here. So we're going to go ahead and throw everything onto this motherboard and hopefully everything works out okay. If it doesn't, the CPU probably has a huge issue with it. But I'm still really happy that I got a new motherboard, even if that was the problem the entire time, because the balloon capacitor thing, that's kind of scary. All of a sudden opening your machine and seeing that capacitors have exploded and the motherboard are popped and then the acid's leaking out of them. So it was due time that I had to change it out anyways. But hopefully you put this all together and everything works, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so this is the In the Groove PC now revived, and it's pretty ghetto right now because I don't have everything attached to the piece of wood yet, just the motherboard's attached at the moment. But everything that you see on here is what was used off the last motherboard except for the motherboard itself. So just the motherboard was replaced. It's running the same CPU fan, CPU, same RAM, same graphics card. The only thing that's different was the hard drive. The R1 was getting really bad sectors. Like a lot of the sectors every time I would boot it were coming up as bad. So I replaced it with a ATA motherboard that I had lying around. And then I also had to have this fan plugged in to get the motherboard working. If it does not have a fan plugged in right here, it will air out. And you would think just the CPU would do that, but it also does it to the system fan as well. So if the system fan is not present, the computer just will shut off before it even gets to booting the operating system. So now I have to figure out how I'm going to attach that to this piece of wood. As you can see, the wiring is pretty small, so probably going to have to extend it or figure out a way to just throw it inside the machine or something like that. So yeah, one other thing to note too is this wasn't the motherboard I was originally going to put in here. This was a motherboard I had just lying around the house and I've used for years and years. You can actually see a lot of that dust on that that VGA port right there. You can see all the dust in the back. That's because it was from a used computer in my house, and it wasn't like a refurbished one that I picked up on eBay like I originally planned. The one I picked up on eBay is actually right over there, and the reason why I'm not using it is because I was getting errors with the CPU. Every time I would try to boot this with the CPU on it, I have 3 CPUs, and all of them gave me the same error. It would say that it couldn't, it wasn't configured properly for that processor, but I can continue if I'd like, but I have to press F1, go into the BIOS, and exit the BIOS. And I don't want that to happen when the computer is just supposed to boot normally without any prompts. Especially when you keep turning on and off the arcade game all the time in the computer. I can't be there every single day to hit F1 and escape for everyone so they can play the game. So that's what it looks like now. I'm going to clean everything up, put everything onto the motherboard. And as you can see over here, it is booting In the Groove, which is good. So everything should be running great. I literally just plugged in the hard drive. I copied the hard drive and then I moved everything over to this new hard drive. Just popped it in. I wasn't sure if it was good boot because it's a completely different motherboard, but everything seems to be working perfect as just a drag and drop deal. So we'll kind of see how it goes tomorrow when I put it into the machine. I can't actually test running In the Groove. After it loads past this little prompt here, it is going to error out because it cannot find the I/O board, which means it can't find the JAMA connector that plugs everything into the machine. So hopefully when I go tomorrow, everything turns out okay, and I will be making a video about everything, hopefully for you guys very, very soon. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Peace!